Okay, so I've pulled up the IRS Form 1040 on my software. And the reason I decided to do this is I thought a visual might be very helpful while I'm explaining what I believe is the most important line on your tax return. And I just want to share that when you get your tax return or copy of your tax return from your tax preparer, you may get a packet that's pretty thick. It may have 10, 15, 20, or even many more pages. And the reason is because you have some worksheets and some schedules that are used for calculations, but all of that information flows to the IRS Form 1040. And here's the reason why I share this is because a lot of times when you get your packet, it may be overwhelming. But if you think of your tax return as 2 pages, the IRS Form 1040, then it kind of makes it not as daunting and easier to then tackle, right? Because now you only have to understand and look at these 2 pages to get the big picture of your financial situation. So when people look at their 1040, usually they'll go down to line number 35. Actually, first they'll go to 37 and say, do I owe any money? Nope. Then they'll go to line 35A and see if they're getting any money back. And here it shows $2,643. Is that good? Maybe. But the thing is, this number doesn't give us the big picture. So, for instance, if I scroll up, you're going to see here on line 25A that $5,000 was withheld from our paychecks and reported on our W-2. So we've paid in throughout the year $5,000, and the IRS is holding on to it until we settle up here with the tax return. But it shows that as the return sits right now, that I'm getting $2,643. So where's the rest of my money? Well, that's why I believe the most important line on your tax return is not the refund amount, very important, but not the most. It's not how much you owe, but it's actually line 24, your total tax, because that tells you how much of your money the IRS is going to keep or how much money you need to send them if you haven't made any payments to them yet throughout the year. So this number to me is the most important. Once you know this number, you can kind of work backwards from there and then see the bigger picture. But most importantly, if you're pleased with the 26 and you never look at this number, when I say the 26, I'm talking about the $2,600 that we show as a refund. If you're pleased with that number and you never look at your total tax, you may not know how much you've paid to the IRS. And if you don't know how much you've paid, you may not create any strategies to help reduce that number. So to me, I always like to know how much did the IRS get from Gene in 2023, 2024, whatever year it is, and how can I minimize that or reduce that next year and the year after. So that is why I believe the total tax line is the most important line on your tax return. Not the only thing you should look at, but to me, it's the most important.